Hey everyone. Today for our digital citizenship article, I chose The Strategy for Digital Citizenship Guiding Our Children in a Digital World by Don Orth and Edward Chin. I actually found this article and used it quite a bit for our my section of work in our paper that we've been working on, and I felt that it was very beneficial for my section of the paper and also just about digital citizenship in general. As I've learned through my research in that area, common sense media is really important. Um, Advice, information, everything's coming from them. There's a lot of stuff happening for them. And the very first thing that I highlighted through this article that I thought was cool was it says, research by Common Sense Media, an independent nonprofit working with parents and educators to improve kids' lives in a world of media and technology, found that our nation's children spend more time with media and digital activities than they do with their families or in school, which profoundly impacts their social, emotional, and physical development. I feel like even as someone who probably, it would be very easy for me to see that I probably do use media and digital activities more than I spend time with my family or friends, or even in a school setting. Especially, for instance, like this class, it's online, so most of the time my interaction even with my other classmates for school is through media and digital activities. So it's not even just something that I'm doing outside of school, but for school purposefully I'm using digital media. And I feel like it's important that parents realize this, because I think sometimes we think that we are trying to limit their use, when in all reality sometimes that's not possible. I mean, they're using it for school, they're using it for things like that, and for education purposes, and instead of telling them that they need to always have their technology away, maybe it would be better for us to just make sure that they are playing an important role by fulfilling and having good digital citizenship in general. We should be working towards making sure that all of our kids that we're around, whether it be our children or children that we are working with in the school setting, that they are prepared to be digital citizens, because so much technology is now being used in the classroom. This way, we're acknowledging that yes, we want you to use all these online sources, all this digital media, in a good way, in a creative way, and that they aren't scared, but yet they're still smart and responsible and can still make good decisions because they know what they're doing, and they've been taught ethical consequences, and they've been taught positive impacts with digital citizenship. Conversations need to happen in the early years, which I feel like is crucial, because so many kids, it just gets younger and younger that we're pushing this digital media onto them, using iPads, using iPhones, using ebooks in the classroom. So the younger that they're starting to use all this information means the younger we need to start having conversations with them about being responsible with all of the technology that they have. And it's going to be continual. You have to continue to update them on their digital citizenship, on the respect that they need to have with using technology in general. It's just like scaffolding math. You can't just teach addition and hope that that's enough math for them to get through in life. Just like you can't teach the very first basics of digital citizenship for one area or one content and hope that that's going to last forever, because it's not. It's important that you create effective digital citizenship programs. The article went through and gave a whole bunch of different phases that fall under that. Crafting the vision. Form a digital citizenship task force consistency of key administrator and faculty members who are eager to carry the torch. And then it goes on to talk about how good behavior with digital citizenship is a lot like having good behavior in any situation, for instance, in the classroom. So just constantly using positive reinforcements to continue to have good behavior in the classroom and good behavior online. Drafting expectations and identifying those to the students, using Common Sense's media core beliefs is a good place to start. Figuring out who's responsible for what parts of the program so that teachers know what roles they're supposed to play and what administrative staff is supposed to do. Collecting and sharing this with all of the teachers that are in your district, all of the students that are in your district, and even furthermore, giving it to the parents so that they know what's going on. The parents want to be just as actively involved, but sometimes they just don't really know what to do or how to incorporate it from their side, from their angle. So have those conversations with the parents. Of all the core digital citizenships are issues of awareness, kindness, and sound judgment, all of which we're already teaching. So why don't we go ahead and just teach it into our digital citizenship as well? And it's important, again, like I said earlier, it's important that all the teachers can be on the same page so that when parents come and have questions, all the teachers have somewhat of reflective answers that are going to all compare and be equal with what every other teacher is saying. You want the parents to know the policies and expectations and then encourage them to build their own. Write the communications, provide resources for the parents, have an ongoing list of material and updated sources that they can continue to check out so that they're never feeling behind or lacking. And encourage all the other teachers that you know to participate with their parents and to involve that into their classroom. And in every class in school, we've talked about how parent involvement is important. So this is just as important for any other aspect. This is equally as important. And then it's just important to make sure that you are actually following the guidelines you're setting. If you have these rules, but then you allow every kid to break them, then what was the point? And they're also just going to feel like it doesn't matter. We can't predict what technology will look like in 2010 or even 5 years, but we do know that children will always need our guidance in managing and navigating the increasingly complex digital world. That's a quote from the article directly, and I felt like that's a good quote. We don't know what the future will hold for technology. I think not that long ago, my phone told me that it hasn't been so many years that we hadn't had iPads and iPhones, and sometimes I think we lose a sense that those haven't always been around, and especially our kids, because some of them don't know a life without having an iPhone, and so those came upon so quickly and are advancing every single day that you have no idea what's going to come in the future. But it's constantly important to remember that we need to provide a good system, a good strategy, a good rule set, and teach our students, our other teachers, and our parents how to behave online so that everyone can work as a team and make sure that we have a really good group of digital citizens that are going to brighten education and brighten the sources that we have and all the technology and all the online sites, because if not, there could be a lot of destruction that takes place, a lot of cyberbullying, and a lot of misdirected and useless information that's there for not purposeful reasons, and also just so that they can find the time, they can use their time wisely while online, is another aspect that I think that can all help with. So it's important that we just work together as a team to make sure that we're providing all that we can to make sure that our students are good digital citizens online.